Welcome in, everyone, to another live edition of 410 Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Martin. We'll be joined soon by my co-host, James or Jimmy Haskell, the Rascal. But getting it started here by myself because I didn't want to keep you guys waiting too long. And, man, we got a lot to talk about. So we'll try and keep you guys entertained until Jimmy gets here, and then he'll certainly give me a hand here. But before we get started, I do have to mention our sponsor. And this show, of course, like all our shows, is brought to us by BetOnline, which is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. From the preseason of the NFL to college kickoff, BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. Think you know your stuff now? Get in on our winner take all $300,000 NFL survivor pool for the upcoming season. When the games are over, head on over to the online casino and get in on a hand of blackjack or some poker, unwind and over the 150 slot games they have available. Head on over to the website today, use promo code BLEAV, BLEAV, and get in on the action. Receive a 50% free bet bonus. Up to $250. BetOnline, the game starts here. Thank you guys for joining us. What's going on? Is it Nuno or just Nuno? I don't see the little accent thing, so I'm going to say Nuno. What's going on, Nuno? Laura, it's been a while. Hope Sadie is doing well. Just solo to start, Nuno. Jimmy's on his way. He's just running a couple minutes behind. What's going on, Asmodeus? King Blaze and White. Yes, I know. I need the season to start now. Hey, don't worry. No one's starting before the Ravens. Still, the first game of the season is going to be the Ravens versus the Chiefs. So it's right around the corner. It's almost here, but also that means the summer will be over. So, I don't want to rush that too much. But yeah, excited for the season right around the corner. But I'm going to jump right into it because I have an immense amount of stuff I have to cover today, along with Jimmy once he does arrive. Ridwan, first time watching live. Appreciate it. Appreciate you coming out. Nuno, perfect. Spot on. Nice. White, what's up? Sup, brother? Glad to be back. I've not watched. Man, just now coming back. Hey, a lot of people were pretty shook up about that Chiefs loss. So thank you for coming back. This is a new season. Got a really talented group here. So, hey, maybe they can finally get over that Chiefs hump, and hopefully that starts week 1. But I got tons to get into. I want to start with Kyle Hamilton avoiding major injury. Kyle Hamilton went down towards the end of practice 2 days ago, and looked to suffer some sort of a lower body, a leg injury. Did walk off the field under his own power with the trainers, but there was a lot of concern after that injury because while John Harbaugh tried to make people feel a little bit less concerned by saying that initially everything seems stable, but they did say they would have to do further tests the remainder of that, and then some even the following day. So there was concern like, oh my goodness, we cannot go down this road. But ultimately, Kyle Hamilton returned to practice to some degree yesterday, working on a side field, doing some running and some cutting and all that stuff. But that was the first bit of good news, because obviously if he's running and doing any type of practice, even if it is individual participation, that means that the injury was relatively minor. But to even further make everyone feel a little more at ease about Kyle Hamilton, he returned to full participation today and did not miss a beat. Looks like what they deemed as a knee sprain is now behind him. He made plays on the deep ball today that was thrown to Zay Flowers. So he obviously has his speed, has his agility, and was able to get back out there. So, man, what a worrisome moment, and then ultimately a breath of relief there to kind of just, thank goodness. Cannot afford to lose a guy like Kyle Hamilton that just checks so many boxes. I mean, just think, like, if a player, even if he's a starter, gets injured, that's a lot to replace. But a guy like Kyle Hamilton that plays every single position seemingly on the defense outside of D tackle, that would be a devastating loss. So that's good news for the Ravens. They don't have to worry about that. What's going on? What's up, G? What's going on? Cedric, I should say. I'm sure it's Cedric, not Cedric. Cedric, what's going on? Appreciate you coming. Jax, I think Kaepernick is. I think he's done playing football. I'm sure he's doing a lot, but I don't think football is uh, part of his future. Even though he is apparently training. Laura says Sadie is just fine. Has been. I don't know why I've been so busy, but love you guys. What a season we are going to have this year. Yes, a monster season. This is a big year for us. I don't know why it seems dark. It does seem dark in here to me, DK, as I'm looking at myself. I don't know why. The light's the same, but maybe I hit the thing there. But yeah, it's a big season, Laura. Big season. This is the year. This is the year. We were a year early last year. This is just like in 2011 when we had the heartbreaking loss. We come back, get that loss, get over that hump, and win in 2012. This is the same year or the same thing. Appreciate your comment. Appreciate you coming back and watching, Laura, as always. Man, I wish I was going to the game in Dallas, Cedric. Cedric going to the Ravens game in Dallas. Hey, Don C has made it. What's going on, Jamal? Deadly Jordan. Yes, it's going to be in New Orleans. If there's a Super Bowl to go to, this is the year. And also, yeah, Deadly. I think he's referring to the fact that last time we won was in New Orleans. So all the more reason to kind of make that connection between the years we won last. And a lot of people said the same thing, like, oh, there's no way we'll get back. We had such a good team. But this is our year, ladies and gentlemen. Claude is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. History does seem to repeat itself. All right. Also, in the game, the biggest worry, of course, was Nate Wiggins. You know, Nate Wiggins comes out in his first drive. I mean, the first 4 plays he sees as an NFL football player is a run to his side where he makes the tackle, a throw to his guy where he breaks up the pass, a deep ball where they test him again, where it hits in the back. And had he had the wherewithal to try and find the ball, he'd have probably had his first interception. And then they go for it on 4th down and again challenge Nate Wiggins. He plays the ball at the point of attack perfectly, you know, getting up at the highest point and knocking the ball away. So in his first 4 plays, he had a tackle and 3 PBUs and a 4th down stop. I mean, you don't get much better than that. Then he starts the third quarter where on 3rd down, they try and leak a running back out to the flat and dump it down to him. And what does Nate Wiggins do? He comes up, makes a fantastic tackle, keeps the player to no gain, I believe. If not, he may have lost a yard. Gets up to celebrate. We notice one arm kind of hang a little bit. Ultimately leaves the game, goes to the blue tent, ends up back in the locker room. We find out later that it was just a sprain, a shoulder sprain. In fact, John Harbaugh joked that it's the same injury he had when he was doing the slip and slide, which he did hurt his shoulder, DK. And I guess that should surprise no one because he went so hard trying to get that ball. And as a 60-some-year-old man, no surprise he sprained his AC joint. However, did not miss any practice time, he pointed out. He was back out there. So Nate Wiggins also avoided major injury, and thank goodness, because of all the rookies participating in week 1 of the NFL preseason, Nate Wiggins was the highest rated rookie of them all. I believe he had an overall PFF score of 89. I think it was. I should have had that prepared, and I did not. So for that, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But nonetheless, take my word for it. The highest rated rookie, not just on defense. I'm talking period. So the Ravens certainly not only seem to have gotten a great player, but also avoided a big loss in that shoulder injury, just because people were saying it's a torn pec, it's a torn labrum, it's a cracked collarbone. I mean, there was a lot of people guessing as to what it was. Ultimately ends up being a sprain, and he is on track to be there for week 1. So shout out to him. What's going on, Lisa Ann? Appreciate you coming out. Appreciate you guys joining the chat. Yeah. All right. So let's get into the next one here because we got lots and lots of news and notes to get to, and I'm hopeful that Jimmy will be joining us here shortly. Let's see here. Yes, because we're going to kind of try and hit things in a bit of chronological order over the last couple of days, what we've been seeing. So on Sunday, August the 11th, the Ravens had their first practice. They had the day off Saturday after the preseason game Friday, and it was the best deep ball of training camp from Lamar Jackson. He repeatedly was connecting with multiple players in stride for long connections. He hit Isaiah Likely multiple times. He hit Zay Flowers on a couple of occasions. And in fact, he even hit Nelson Aguilar, who had a pretty rough drop and apparently led to Lamar Jackson ripping his helmet off and tossing it in frustration, which was kind of surprising to hear. But look, we know that Lamar Jackson has become more and more of a leader in this season, and part of that is vocally, because we already know, he was a good leader as far as leading by example. But as you get a little older, you have to kind of take on a more vocal role, at least if you're the quarterback and the face of the franchise, the highest paid player, and he's embraced that role. But nonetheless, it's surprising to hear he's ripping his helmet off and throwing it in frustration. I'm not so sure. It just surprises me because Nelson Aguilar is one of the vets on this team, super successful in his first year here, former first-round pick, really a leader in the locker room, and a guy we hear speak in front of the media a lot. So I know the coaches really have a lot of respect for him. They don't just put any old person consistently up behind the microphone. Usually there's a reason. And I got to imagine it's because he's incredibly articulate. He's a team leader. He gets it. It seems like he just gets it in every way. When teams try, or when the media kind of tries to get him to hype things up or make proclamations or predictions, and he just always brings it back to, the work and, what you got to get done. So it's kind of surprising to hear such a explosive reaction from Lamar Jackson. But look, he wants to win. He wants to win. And so the deep ball seemed like it was really hitting on all cylinders outside of a couple drops. Derrick Henry also had a monster practice, had 2 big runs, one being a touchdown, the other one kind of a questionable one because they didn't want to have tackling to the ground. So would they have tackled him? There's some question marks, but of course we know with Derrick Henry, his size, there's no guaranteed tackles, even if this is training camp and you're trying to keep guys healthy and keep guys safe. But so just want to give you some of those practice. Lisa Ann says, what's your take on Josh Johnson? Not good. Not good. I do not feel comfortable. And look, people can always say, it doesn't matter who your backup is. It doesn't if you lose your quarterback for the whole year. I'll give you that, because it really doesn't matter. All these backups are backups for a reason. And if you were to miss your quarterback for the whole year, probably every team is going to end up in the same place, which is outside of the playoffs. Unless you have Joe Flacco as your backup and he just happens to be better than your starter, at least play better and win comeback player of the year. But that can't be counted on. So I get it from that perspective. If you lose your starter for the whole season, it almost doesn't matter who your backup is. But if your starter is going to miss 3 or 4 games, then it absolutely matters. And if you need to win one of those 3 or 2 of those 4, and you hope that your backup could at least do that, then that's what I want. I don't see that from Josh Johnson. I don't see him giving us a chance. And I heard from Coach complimented his game readiness, his professionalism. He commented on how some receivers and pass catchers weren't necessarily running the correct routes. Okay, I'll give you that. And maybe that's the case. And maybe that led to his 4 of 12 numbers. And even the 4, I think only one of them seemed like an on-time pass. And the other 3 that were caught were behind, had a guy had to stop to catch it and then try and pick momentum back up. Maybe that is why, but I better see a whole lot more out of the second preseason game, because that was not impressive in any way for a 10-year vet out there playing with a bunch of guys who likely won't make their team. But I understand how expensive a backup quarterback is. Even if he is a backup, understands he's the backup, has no chance to compete against the starter, he's still expensive because he's a quarterback. So I get that to some degree as well. It's just going to be one of those things. I hope they get a little bit better play out of Josh Johnson going forward. Because, again, guys, it's not just like what we see in the preseason and him as a backup. He's also helping to develop guys throughout training camp, certainly during the preseason games. We're not going to see Lamar. So who do you want to throw the ball to the outside and give those wide receivers good looks, give the tight ends good looks? It's so much more than just will he play in week 7 if Lamar has an ankle injury. It's just so many more. So I'm hoping he gets better, but I'm not particularly optimistic about Josh Johnson. But also Rashod Bateman, this continues to be an issue. He missed Sunday's practice with a what's being described as a actually I don't even know if they just a general soreness. Like, I don't even know what the injury is with Rashod Bateman. And Coach Harbaugh is not necessarily being very forthcoming with it. Not that he has to, but he was asked even to kind of clarify what we're seeing or what we're not seeing from Rashod Bateman, and asked, is it a pain tolerance? Is it what's going on? And he said, do I have to get into the details? And they said no. He said, okay, well then I'm not. So we don't really know what the injury is, if it's just a general soreness, because it's a lot of confusion. But so he missed Sunday. He comes back yesterday, and he kind of participates in I don't know if it would. He didn't get full work. I'll say that he participated, but not to the degree that I think most people were expecting. But back on the field nonetheless, and then he did ramp it up. I do have a note here. He did end up ramping up practice as he did return. So actually, he did end up turning up the action. So it just makes you more confused. Like, is this an injury? Is it just I don't know. Maybe they're just being incredibly precautionary with him, and if he has any soreness, that they just sit him out because they don't want that soreness to develop into an injury. A lot of confusing. It's very confusing when it comes to Rashod Bateman. It's frustrating because, man, this guy is so talented, and he would really be a big difference maker on our team if he's healthy, not just for him and the production he could put up, but for how it kind of allows everyone else to stay in their role, stay in their lane, and do what they do best. If he's absent, then it forces other guys to go outside of what, maybe their expected role is, and that could lead to some issues. So, let's just hope Rashod can get through, continue to get through these training camps. I don't need to see him obviously in the preseason, but we need to see the guy in training camp continuing to play. So, Rashod Bateman, please, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's anything he's doing wrong. I think he's doing everything he can. It's just gosh, it's got to be frustrating for the coaches if it's frustrating for the fans. Also wanted to touch on the fact that we heard from Kyle Van Noy, and I think it's interesting that he and Chuck Smith both talked about how Van Noy's focus is as a pass rusher this year, and I just find that interesting. He said only 3 out of his 11 years has he focused as just a pass rusher, and last year was one of those 3 years. He said, I don't have to worry about filling in as the Mike linebacker. I don't have to worry about having the green dot and relaying all the defensive calls. I don't have to, constantly worry about dropping into coverage. And it's just but who's going to be doing that? Because we do drop our outside linebackers relatively often in coverage. Now, maybe under Zach Orr, that plan that, maybe that's set to change, but we assume with Bowser not being here, that's part of the reason why KVN was brought back, because that was what made Bowser so special, is that he was versatile. He could drop into coverage. He had 3 interceptions as a cover guy. There he is, Jimbo Slimbo in the building.
Up? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We got you. Loud and clear.
Wait. Let me get my right audio going on.
You do sound nasally, though.
Oh, dude, I'm so ridiculously nasally. It's insane. I almost didn't even want to. I'm embarrassed by my voice.
Dude, when did this start? We just talked.
Well, because Henry was sick. Now I got it.
I know, but I thought that was a while ago.
Well, he was sick 5 days. I mean, look how, I don't know if you can see how red my nose is.
Yeah, you've been playing the old trumpet.
It's been bad. It's been pretty bad. But thankfully, that's all that's left. I have no headache, no fever.
Good.
It's just really nasally right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, you're good. In fact, though, KVN. So the fact that Kyle Van Noy and Chuck Smith comment on the fact that he's basically just a pass rusher, and that's his sole and primary focus. I think that's a little bit confusing in that, what type of scheme changes, but also exciting, because if that's what we saw last year from him, to be able to put up career high numbers in sack totals while missing your entire training camp, being signed mid-season, it was the early part, but it was still in season when he was signed. Man, to see him, he's going to be focused like that, and now he has a full training camp under his belt. He doesn't have to learn the playbook. He's continuing to work with Chuck Smith and the other guys on the staff. I don't think, Jimbo, am I crazy to think it's not unreasonable to think that Kyle Van Noy is going to set a new career high this year in sacks? Am I drinking the purple Kool-Aid?
I think you might be a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah, I think part of the question is, what do you think about his supporting cast? How big is the hole that Clowney creates, right? how much can we depend on Owe and Ojabo? And now a lot of people are talking about Adisa, and they really, really like him.
And Tavius is getting a lot of love,
Tavius
Jimbo.
getting a lot of love too. The only thing I've heard is that some people are not super excited about his pass rush, more about his overall ability, right? Like as an edge defender and things like that. But he is getting a ton of love for his disruptiveness. So yeah, to me, it just depends on the supporting cast.
Like, is he going to get too much focus?
Right. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
a lot to ask a guy that's what, going to be 34?
Mm-hmm.
Is that his age? He's going to be 34?
I think you're right. Yep. I think you're right.
Yeah. So he's got a lot of miles on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I find it difficult to believe that he's going to produce more than he did last year. How are you feeling about your double-digit sacks?
No, I'm feeling great about it, dude. I'm feeling so good about it, and here's why. Odafe Owe, I mean, a lot of people were asked about him. Zach Orr said he's having his best training camp by far since he's been a Raven. Chuck Smith was raving about him, said he kind of said, look, he got 5 sacks. He missed 4 games. He said Jadeveon Clowney and Kyle Van Noy got a bunch of the opportunities to sack the quarterback that also kind of eaten in a little bit on his production. And he said, look, I'll be honest, he missed a few sacks. Like, he missed a few that we remember where the guy barely squeezed out. He ducked and spun around and got out of it. So with a massive increase in snap counts is what he's going to get. If he's healthy, he's going to get a massive increase in snap counts. And he's having his best camp, Jimbo. And he missed at least 5 over the course of the season where he could have had the guy if he just finished the job. So, yeah, I'm feeling excellent about it. Now, can he be Jadeveon Clowney? That I'm not sure of. I think he's got higher I'd say he's got like he's faster than him. So in some ways he's got more athleticism, but man, Jadeveon was such a freak. It's hard to kind of even make that claim. But I will say I'm feeling good about double-digit sacks, but who do you think will get more of the focus early on? Will it be Kyle Van Noy and they'll kind of single up Owe? Is that what you're kind of envisioning?
Yeah, I mean, part of me thinks that Owe will have an advantage because you got to kind of prove it. I don't know if anyone's going to be like, oh no, we got to stop Odafe Owe and his pass rush ability. Like, I don't know if anyone's going to, we got to chip and we got to do this and we got to do that. And I don't think any of that's going to happen. If any of that happens to any of our pass rushers, certainly it's going to be Kyle Van Noy. But, it's funny because I heard folks talking about Odafe and I knew it was sealed right there. My victory was won.
Oh, stop it.
They
were talking about Metabike last year too, okay? About how he was set to go off, and he did.
Fair. I don't know who of us is frozen, if it's me or you. There we go.
It was you. Yeah, I think it
anyway,
was you.
Probably. But that's a good point. That's a good point you bring up. I just think it was funny. Like, I kind of started cracking up when I was listening to it because I was like, well, there goes the neighborhood type thing, man.
Come on now. We need him. We need him, Jimbo. Jamal, I love Jamal calling you Haskell, the freaking rascal.
Wait, do I know Jamal?
I don't know, bro, but he seems to know your nickname pretty solid here, Jimbo. But he might have just heard it on here. But I just love how he delivered that. Haskell, the freaking rascal.
It's 2 L's in the last name, though, bro. Just like 2 Glens or 2 N's in Glenn, it's 2 L's in Haskell.
That's right. But he spelled rascal, right? He got that. And you are the rascal. Okay.
What can I say, dude? What can I say?
I wanted to talk to you about our Darius Washington is he's now picked. He just keeps every day. It seems like he's got another interception, Jimbo. He had another interception today. He's picked off Josh Johnson, I believe, 3 times in the last few practices. This guy is absolutely everywhere. When you talk to Zach Orr about him, I mean, just raves about him, says he plays everywhere. I mean, I was looking at the snaps, which I know we're going to go over some more of the snap counts later on, because some of these guys played an insane amount of snaps. Like, they were like, we're not playing our ones. So how do you feel about playing every single game? But yeah, I mean, it's, where am I trying to find the snap count here? Yeah, he played 41 snaps The guy was absolutely everywhere. He hits so much harder than you would think just looking at the guy. You're going, how's this guy hit? No, same with Pepe, like will wallop you despite being smaller guys, especially football standards. But I'm worried that there's so much of a log jam at DB, at safety, that we cannot let this guy get cut, because if they try and pass him through waivers, Jimbo, he's not going to freaking make it. I think it'd be crazy to try and think we can get this guy to a practice squad. He needs to be on the 53, in my opinion. What's your take on Ardarius?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm guessing we're gonna do our 53, our prediction before final cuts, but I feel he's already gonna be on my list. I'm not exactly sure how the math adds up. I understand your point about the log jam at defensive back, whether that's corner or safety, but I think all of that is true, what you're saying, and then any additional value that he can bring to special teams is going to be welcomed. But I think he can do things that, even though there's a log jam, he can do things that few people can do on our team as far as his ball skills. And so I think that makes him that much more valuable. I think he's a lock.
I love that. I hope you're right. Because this dude,
John loves him. Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Who was it that said he had somebody said he had some honey badger in him.
I can see it.
Remember. He does. I mean, the way
we got to get our TCU guy back on. Remember that guy?
Oh,
the safety, the former TCU safety that's now an announcer for them.
Loves that guy. Loves him. And this could
he be better. Who was his running mate back in the day? Starts with an M.
Oh no. Oh man. Dang it. I'm forgetting, but I don't think, I mean, not that Ardarius has done much in the league as far, if you're not a Ravens fan, but yeah, I don't think the guy.
What was that kid's name?
Oh, he was a first round pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other safety, the free safety. Oh, as soon as you say it, gosh.
Oh, come on.
I thought I had it for a second and then I lost it. But yeah, I mean, the guy from TCU said that he thinks Ardarius has a chance to be even better than him. No, it wasn't Elam, thank God. Yeah,
I'm gonna find it.
Oh, he put it in the chat. Here
who did DK?
Yes, Trayvon Moehrig. Yes.
Moehrig. I knew there was an M. I knew it was an M. I kept wanting to say Meharry or some crap like that. Like,
you got it. Yes, Moehrig. Yes. Appreciate that, DK. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a player, man. I don't want to see this guy get lost. And
they know that, and they also know that injuries happen, Glenn. Right? Like, you know what I mean?
Look, with Mollett out, you're gonna need someone to help in the slot, right?
And we haven't had good luck with Marcus Williams.
Right.
Just a matter of luck. It's no fault of Marcus.
Yeah.
It's just been bad luck.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, I hope that he sticks around for, if nothing else, insurance, but also early on, he might be playing some nickel spot for us with Arthur Marlette still out. Don C says the secondary has so many guys that will never make it through to the practice squad. I predict at least 5 IR stashes. What else can they do? Yeah, I mean, some of these guys, though, like, we've already seen that. Like, we've seen Ardarius spend a whole season on IR. Like, eventually, you gotta see if the guy can actually play or not. I mean, I get it for like 1 year, maybe kind of having a red shirt rookie year, but I don't know if Ardarius is really in that camp right now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think he's beyond that at this point. So, maybe there's some other guys, but yeah, I don't see that with Ardarius. The other thing I got to ask, oh man, I had a question about something that I was wondering if you already talked to. Oh, did you talk about the Ayuk thing? Is that final?
What final?
The Ayuk to the Steelers?
Is it? I didn't think it was final. I thought he was still trying to stick around. Am I missing something?
There's nothing on ESPN.
I don't think it's final.
Yeah.
Because I was just looking on Twitter and I didn't see anything. I seen, update an hour ago, Brandon Ayuk would prefer to stay with the Niners. I think it's just all posturing.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I don't think he wants to go anywhere because if he would have, they already had a deal set with the Browns and they already had a deal set with the Patriots. He nixed both of them because now, not that I could blame him for not wanting to go to those teams, but apparently they're not that far and I don't see anything. So
yeah, because I saw the rumors where the holdup was who's the nose tackle for who's his brother? Who's the Steelers nose tackle? What's his name?
Cam Hayward.
Hayward's brother. apparently was the
tight
holdup
end.
that the Niners want his brother really bad. But like, if that were really the holdup, you would just give him Hayward, right? Like, what are we talking about here?
Hmm.
Like, no offense to him, but it's not
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? That
Yeah,
perplexed
like,
me. I'm like, stop.
why would anyone? I thought he was just like kind of how Giannis had his brother on the team. It was one of those moves. you know?
Right? It's like a moral
I
support
mean,
thing.
well, I mean, Giannis's brother. I don't. Do you think Giannis's brother would have been on that team? Thanos, I think his name is on
Well,
that
didn't he
team.
get drafted before Giannis?
Did he? Is this just like no way?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Thanos?
Yeah.
No way, dude. He's younger.
Oh,
But you'll see that sometimes. You'll see
Yeah.
more and so in college typically than in the pros. But wow, Hayward was stopping the whole thing from happening. Okay, yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
I
a
don't
smoke
believe
screen.
that.
I'm like Stono. I think it's a smoke screen. I think it's just a way to try and get. They're just trying to get. He's just trying to get more money. They
Yeah,
can't. They can't afford to lose him, and he can't. Why would he ever want to leave?
right. Yeah, I don't get it.
Laura says, "Hey Jimmy, you made me do 2 super chats. Glenn remembered my dog, which is awesome.
Wait, why'd I make you do 2?
Well, because you weren't here when she did her first one, so she wanted to say
Oh.
hi to you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Laura. I appreciate it. I thank you so much.
And I'm going to ignore the fact that my name is spelled wrong, and we're going to move on to the fact that David Ojabo is still another part where I'm so confused. Jimbo, help me understand. So,
Can we just ship him to Seattle now?
I mean, we got to get something back in return. But my whole thing is he wasn't clear about who to play in the preseason game, but we've seen him at camp, and in fact, today they were raving about him because he had a 101 clean win against Ronnie Stanley, and then a 101 clean win against Roger Rosengarten. So why is it that he's able to participate in all these practices, but he couldn't play in the game? And like, what is this a guy we can count on to do anything week 1?
No, I think anything you get from Ojabo is just icing on the cake, right? Nothing. You can't depend on anything from David Ojabo at this point. Once again, I mean, it sounds like I'm knocking the kid, but this is what it is.
It's so confusing.
Right?
Now,
Yeah.
they said it was an ACL, by the way, Xavier. They didn't disclose it last year, but this year they've talked very openly that he tore his ACL. Like,
Yeah, partial tear or whatever. All of them, if I'm not mistaken, DK, if you know anything about this, shake your head yes or no, but I'm pretty sure almost all of them are partial tears, and then they cut them clear off in the surgery, and then they repair them totally, right? So, like, it's kind of all the same thing, like a partial tear,
yeah,
whatever, right? Like, they cut it clean off, start from 0, and then repair it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yep. Yeah, and Chuck Smith talked about, hey, he's coming off of an ACL tear. Like, he didn't make it sound like it was a minor. Like, he just said, hey, he's coming off of a tear in ACL.
Right.
So, it's
dude, we need to go get. Somebody just brought it up. Deadly Jordan. Shout out to Deadly Jordan, who's a community member. Dude, we need to go out there and get Judon, bro.
I know.
I would love to see Judon and Kyle Van Noy on the same team. For some reason, that's exciting to me.
Yes, I would love it. And look, he said that ultimately the Patriots are going to make him play out his final year for $6.5 million if they can't get a deal going. It's like, let's offer them a deal. If he is willing to ultimately play there for $6.5 million, come play here for $6.5 million.
Yeah, come home. And DK brings up Hassan Reddick.
Dude, I don't want that headache on my team, dude.
Yeah.
He's already like he's making their lives now just as a player. Hell yeah. Dude is a monster. Like, would be absolutely perfect for what we need. But he's just, unless if we didn't have a quarterback we were paying and we just had like an abundance of cap space, kind of like the Patriots do, then yeah, sure, I'd give him because he deserves a lot. Reddick is a hell of a player. He's one of the best pass rushers, but the Ravens aren't in any position to pay that guy.
Yeah. Man, if we can get a third of what Philly has in the pass rush.
I know, dude.
They probably say things about our secondary, though, right?
That's true. That's true.
You know, I mean,
By the way, Jimbo, first time. I screenshotted it because this is a historic year for us, Jimbo.
Oh boy, what?
Not for us, but not for us is like Ravens. But let me see here. Photos. Oh man, where's my screenshot? Why did my whole album just get switched around? Okay, here it is. Jimbo, there's only been 15 white cornerbacks in the history of the NFL. There's only been 15, and there hasn't been a starter in over 20 years. Has started a game. I'm sorry. So there's 3 white corners expected to make rosters this year. The Broncos, Riley Moss, the Eagles, Cooper DeJean, and the Dolphins, Ethan Bonner. I mean, this is historic stuff here, Jimbo. We got to bring this up.
Yeah, no, we do. Let's see. Was the last Jason Sehorn? Was that his name?
Dude, yes, that was when the Ravens beat the damn Giants in 2000.
Sehorn was a dog, too, in his prime, wasn't he?
He was, and then he moved to safety as he got older, naturally.
Right. Probably should have been there from the get-go.
Some may argue, but I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? Like, I mean, we had 15 in the history of the NFL. 15. We're about to have maybe 18.
That's wild. What's happening?
Dude, that's a big. What's that percentage? You go from 15 to 18. What's that jump in percentage? That's 15% or 20%? I don't know.
So that 3
20%.
is 1/5. 3 is 1/5. Yeah, 20%. Right.
That's a huge 20% jump in history of this league. Like, that's a massive
1 year. That's wild.
You know what I mean? Big time.
History in the making. You aren't kidding.
History in the making.
You know what's so funny? Because I kept trying to look out for Cooper during the game, and then I was like, nah, I don't feel like paying attention to the Eagles. Much as I liked him.
Did you see he did a the rookie talent shows that seemingly everyone does?
Yeah.
He rapped Eminem's song.
Did he really?
I think it was Lose Yourself.
Did he really?
Apparently did a pretty good job. I gotta check it out.
That's awesome.
But yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, I had to point that out because it came across my Twitter timeline where it just said historic in all bold. And I was like, oh, what is this? I was like, oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, it's something. I had to bring it up on the show. It's at least nothing else. It's pretty hilarious. But
that is great.
Let me see here. I wanted to get into some of these snap counts with you here, Jimbo, and get your take on some of these.
Yeah,
now, I know
your notes. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Take a peek. Which I've been hammering out some of these notes here. Guys, we got a big show planned for you tomorrow, most likely, but it could end up being a recorded episode. But look for that to drop. We're supposed to have a member of the team join the show. So
wait, really quickly before we get into the snaps, did you already cover everything else on your notes?
Except for what I'm about to yeah, only snaps.
You talked about Nate Wiggins.
Yeah.
Whew. Dude, that's so cool. And I'm so glad he avoided major injury. I mean, we're not sure when he's going to come back yet though, correct?
Right.
I thought it was dude, how funny was it John talking about his healing ability?
Oh, I know.
Like, John, you're such a competitor, bro. You're 60.
I know. He's like, some people are like Wolverine.
I'm like John.
What? Who is this guy? But yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was cracking me up, dude. I'm like, this dude is
still
about his business, man. Yes.
Yeah, he don't mess around. But all right, let's quickly go over these snap counts. It's broken down on this article I'm using. I think it's written by Glenn Irby, who actually we've had on the show at least once. So shout out to Glenn Irby.
Isn't Glenn Irby the one that said flapping my gums?
I think he did. Yes.
Yeah. I still use that phrase now at work.
That's why you don't forget that one. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to put it up here. Not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to the quarterback, other than the fact that poor Emory Jones. I mean, what the hell did they do to this guy? Like, they're like, all right, there's 10 seconds left or 12 seconds left. Go out there. He drops back, gets strip sacked, and then we lose the game on the field goal.
And his career's over like that.
Like, what's the point of doing that to the guy? At least let him get it. I'm hopeful that he'll get some more run in the next preseason game, but I thought that was pretty funny. Then running backs, Rasheen Ali gets 27, Owen Wright 17, Chris Collier 5. I tell you what, I need to see more out of Owen Wright, dude. This guy looked good so far, both as a pass catcher out of the backfield and running between the tackles. Chris Collier showed me something in a brief stint. And look, I know Rasheen is a rookie this year, and he got a ton of looks. I want to see more. I wouldn't mind seeing that kind of flip-flop next week and see Owen Wright get the lion's share.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that would be – I mean, look, either way, I was thinking about this. We got to figure out our third.
Yep.
So let's put these guys to the ringer, give each one of them an opportunity to really go out there and do their thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, and Rasheen Ali, just to recap, with those 27 snaps, had 10 carries for 26 yards, averaged 2.6 yards per carry. Owen Wright, however, 7 carries, 33 yards, average 4.7, and he added the 17-yard catch out of the backfield. So, yeah, let's see what we got and get a little bit more of a look out of Owen Wright there. All right, and then
100%.
also wide receiver. Look
really
at that.
quickly, though, do you have a preference?
Yeah, I want. Well, first of all, Owen Wright just looked better, and
Yeah.
it makes sense. He's been in an NFL camp for a year, whereas Ali is a rookie. And also, Ali's biggest knock was he had a case of the fumbles in college. And while he
Ugh.
didn't fumble, he came damn close to fumbling on his kick return.
Oh, you're right.
So he didn't fumble, but
Dude, and that scared me too, because I felt like that ball was moving before his elbow hit. Like, I really, you know what I mean? I know he got the call and everything, and it was fine, but it did seem like the ball was kind of already ready to pop.
Yeah, that's what's, I don't know. So I want to see Owen Wright, but also wide receiver snaps. I thought this was really, really cool. Dayton Wade, our guy, our buddy, leads the way with 26 snaps. Also led the way with 4 catches and 27 yards. Both were team leads. Isaiah Washington got 26 snaps. Devontae Walker, a quiet 19 snaps. And look, I can't even fault him, Jimbo. Who the hell's giving him a chance to catch the ball? Nobody can throw the ball.
Right. Yeah.
It's frustrating, bro. And then
It is.
Keith Kirkwood, Tylan Wallace both get 14 snaps. Malik Cunningham gets 11, and Russell Gage, the newcomer, the veteran, gets 5. Anything different you want to see, going to next week with this group, or?
Yeah, I mean, so there's a few things here. Let me ask you a question. How important is it for you for Russell Gage to get play?
Not a ton. Almost none.
I guess that's true.
I mean, this guy's caught big time. I mean, the GOAT was throwing him the ball in big time.
Yeah,
high
that's
leverage
fair.
playoff
I guess I'm
games.
not. I would like to see him more in purple, but ultimately,
yeah. I mean, I just want to see him working on that with Lamar in practice.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Outside of that, though, no. I mean, yeah, I wanted to see what we got in Dayton Wade, and then I'd love for Devontae to get in more in the action, not just more snaps.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep. Get the ball, get some targets. That would be nice.
Yeah.
So let's hope that kind of makes a shift here. This was kind of surprising. Kadir Ismail leads the way with 17 snaps from the tight end position.
And I felt like I had a hard time seeing him.
Yeah, I never saw him. I mean, he didn't jump out at me. He didn't get, obviously, any targets his way, but the quietest leader in snap counts that I saw out of all these groups that I was looking over. Like, I don't remember. I didn't see a whole lot of Charlie Kohler. I think his snaps were more on special teams. I didn't really see him offensively.
Yeah.
But really nothing out of the tight end group. So it's not like he fell backwards, but he didn't necessarily stand out. So let's hope that Kadir will get an opportunity to at least catch some. Because, man, I got high hope. I think his ceiling is the practice squad, but hey, you never know, man. You can turn that into something more. All right, Jimbo. Here we go. Let me try and get everybody on here.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about this O-line.
Yeah, Voorhees, Faalele, and Josh Jones, who was filling in at left tackle, all logged 30 snaps. Ben Cleveland second behind those 3 with 24 snaps. Salah get 19. And then a bunch of guys get 19 with Salah, Pearl, and Bullock. Tayshawn Manning and Roger Rosengarten both get 18. Nick Samac comes in to clean up at center after Ben Cleveland gets 15. McCary 12, and Darian Dalcourt 9 snaps. Anything jump out at you here? Do you want to see anything change?
I'd like Rosengarten to get some more play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know what McCary is,
and
maybe they feel like they already know what Rosengarten is, so don't risk the injury. But I would like to see him get a little more play. But the other 2 I think are great. Let's keep Andrew Voorhees going.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep Faalele going. Like, let's grease the wheels. Let's get him as many reps as we can. Get him familiar with the play speed, all that stuff, the position. So yeah, no, I'm outside of that. Rosengarten gets some more snaps in my biggest one. What about you?
100%. Like, I don't really understand why he's not at 30 when the guys are at 30. When least the assumption is that the team hopes and plans to have Rodgers the week 1 starter. You'd like to see him get more snaps. Now, some are saying, I don't need to see any more from Roger. I've seen enough. And, to some degree, I agree, but he's still a rookie. He's still, if you want him protecting the right side of your franchise quarterback, Lamar Jackson, I'd like to see him get some more pass rush snaps. But we'll wait and see what happens next week. All right, let's move down to D-line. And this is where it gets, I think, kind of pretty interesting here. Your boy Trenton Simpson, bro, not only did he play 62 snaps, which is just insane, but he also wore the green dot, Jimbo, for the first time since being here, meaning they said he didn't even wear it in practice yet, Jimbo.
Right.
And then they slap the green dot on the back of his helmet and go out there and say, hey, log 62 snaps for us. And not only does he do that, is he take on the extra role. He does so flawlessly. We don't see guys running around not knowing where they're going. He relays the information, has 11 tackles, which leads the team. But just imagine, he did all that while taking on so much more responsibility than he's done since he's been here. Imagine him with Roquan doing all that and him just be able to go out there and ball.
Right. Yep, not having to all that, mental load and just being able to run around. Yeah, that's exciting stuff. He looks like an NFL starter in preseason, right? Like, this is how it should be. That's exciting. You talked a little bit about Tavius Robinson, and I'm glad he's getting a lot of snaps. I hope he continues to do so. I think he's going to continue to turn some heads, but I'm pretty surprised Chris Board only got 7 snaps. I guess he's just a special teams guy now.
Yeah, I mean, also, how long has Chris Board been in this league now? They probably,
but
we get it. We know what we got.
I guess, but if I'm Chris, I'm like pushing to be the guy behind Trenton Simpson or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It might be Josh Ross, who logged 44.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Had 8 stops in those 44 snaps. It looks like, just if you judge this, that Josh Ross is the next in line to take that spot if there's an injury. But I know you like Chris Board. You've always been a Chris Board guy.
Yeah.
I got to give you credit.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't bail on people. No.
Nah.
You stick around. All right, as far as DBs, I think this is just the safety group. Darryl Worley leads the way, 59 snaps. Ardarius, 41 snaps. Bo Braid, who absolutely balled, 26 snaps. Bump Cooper, who had that nice play in the left corner of the end zone, breaking up the deep pass, had 25 snaps. And then Sanusi Kane, one of the stars of the night. The tackling machine was just unbelievable in kick coverage. Ultimately left the game with what was described as a stinger, but he logs 20 snaps. I mean, I think if you just look at the groups as far as who had the most impressive day, this might be the best group of the day, Jimbo.
Isn't that wild?
It is, because I would have never guessed that.
Right.
But all these guys were making plays.
100%, man. I don't know what's in the water, but our DB coaches and the players, they definitely need some credit, man.
Yeah, they absolutely balled. I think that's it for those. So I'm going to take this down. But I just wanted to mention all those snap counts. I found some of them kind of interesting, but also I wanted to bring up, I think I just kind of actually skimmed over it. I don't know how, but I think I skimmed over it for a second there. Joe Evans.
Yeah. Because he wasn't on that list.
He was.
With,
I missed it.
But he wasn't on the list with Robinson, and was he in the same spot?
No, they had here. Let me put it back up here because
I was looking for him too, and I was like, not there.
They just kind of listed parts of it different than they listed. Let me show you here. So they had
somebody's
him.
saying Chris Board left with a concussion.
Got it. Okay. So they have it listed this way. So Joe Evans played 66 snaps, Jimbo. Damn near every. It might have been every defensive snap. He was absolutely everywhere. Didn't say a word. Didn't complain a word about. He's an Iowa captain. I mean, let me just tell you how good the Iowa defense last year was unbelievable. And in fact, this year it's still so unbelievable that they can barely get through practice, Jimbo. Like, I don't know if you've read anything about Iowa this year, but dude, their offense can't even function in practice. Because of how dominant their defense is. They can't even do it, dude. They're like
the 2000 Ravens, basically.
Yeah, and they have to pull the reins on their defense because they're so dominant that the offense can't even get work done. Like it's absolutely insane.
That is insane.
And this was a captain on their team last year, a guy who rose from a walk-on to the captain of the team. Like that,
So awesome.
it's incredible. So don't be surprised if Joe Evans turns into a player. He had some incredible, like he had moments where, like, damn, this dude can bend the. I mean, he's got some quick get off. He can get to the edge. He's
got power. He's got some
dude.
technique to his moves. Yeah.
And then even other guys like CJ Ravenel, who, by the way, spent a ton of time signing in the day I was at camp, signed my son's ball, just was super courteous with his time. He played 46 snaps, Jimbo. He's a D tackle. He played 46 snaps at outside linebacker.
Did he have a sack?
And he might have. I do have the box score. And at like Patrick Queen, like regular inside linebacker, Jimbo. He's a D tackle.
That's insane.
But they were like, yeah, we need you to. And he was like, consider it done. He had a half a sack, Jimbo.
Half a sack. Okay.
But incredible, like his athleticism as a D tackle to be able to, like, all right, I'll just drop to linebacker and then chase dudes.
That's insane.
They're finding some gems, man. That guy might be another one. And I had to give that guy some credit there.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see what happens to these guys. And look, if we can sneak them on the practice squad and continue to develop them, you expect big things. I think that's one of the, I think I say it maybe too much, but I think one of the least talked about and most valuable parts of John and it's not just John, but certainly John as a head coach, is him and his staff's ability and commitment to develop players.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't think it's just John. Obviously a lot goes to the player, a lot goes to the front office, but John is a coach, right? Like he's not just a game manager, a play caller.
Yeah.
Right. No, he is a coach. He can take a player and you give him time, he will make that player a better football player. Right? Like that is the definition of a coach. And so, that's exciting stuff. These guys are in the right place and we're happy to have them.
Yeah. And look, you can draft all the talent you want. If you don't have a coaching staff that can develop them, then it really doesn't matter. And the same can be said in reverse, of course, that you can have the best coaching staff if you don't have a bunch of talented players out there. That there's only so much those guys can do. So,
and at the end of the day, you can only draft. I mean, you're not going to hit in every pick, right? So, like, you need to figure out how to get the most out of every pick and every player that's on your team. You know what I mean? You can't just. No one's going to just draft Puka Nacua every single pick. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There needs to be some sort of development that happens there. This is where you are today. This is where you can be. Let us help you get there.
Yeah. And some players, it's weird how it works out this way, Jimbo, but some players are just better pros than they even were in college. Like, and the same can be said. Like, I remember when Manny Machado was coming through the Ravens or the Orioles minor league system, and he went right from AA to the pros. He was better in the pros than he ever was in AA, which doesn't make any sense because the leap from AAA to pro baseball is the single biggest leap in professional sports, is what it's always been described. Like the gap between the highest level that's not the pros,
right?
That's a bigger gap than, like, say, NCAA to NFL. So the fact that Manny made that look like he's like, well, I'm just better here than I was playing against worse talent. It's kind of crazy, but that's how it is sometimes. Like, some of these guys, like these late round, like look at Michael Pierce. Like he went to a no-name school, no big-time offers, and this guy is a absolute monster and a menace on the field. So, yeah, you got to keep swinging in the late rounds. You can't take late rounds or even undrafted guys for granted. And I'll be rooting for Joe Evans. That guy, by the way, another guy, I complimented CJ Ravenel. Joe Evans was the first one on the line to sign autographs, and he was still signing when we left.
That's awesome.
So, as big as Ronnie, Dayton, CJ Ravenel, they were all out there a lot, but I think Joe Evans was out there longer than all of them.
Yeah, and DK brings up another name. I think there's a lot of these names, but Matt Judon kind of falls into that camp as well as a guy that
Brandon Williams.
Yeah.
Where did he come out of school? The only reason he was drafted because they had video of him doing 100 yards of a handstand.
Yeah.
At 350.
What was he at, like Mississippi Southern or something like that?
It was some
It was a
just
small school. And of course, some of it, it's also a weird thing. This is related and not related, but it's also weird when you see kids that like I had a better GPA in college than high school.
right. Yeah.
But sometimes circumstances just change for people. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? High school was way easier.
Yep.
But I just didn't care enough. You know what I mean? Almost to like if the lights aren't on or the pressure isn't on or there's not something pushing you there,
Mhm.
you kind of get bored type thing.
Yep. Could be
You know what I'm
that.
saying?
Mhm.
And I think certainly that applies to Manny Machado.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know
He was
about all
bored.
these other guys. I think, yeah, for sure. I think some of the other guys, like Brandon Williams, I don't know if he could get a good enough test score in the SATs.
Could have been that. It could have been that. Yeah.
Sorry, Brandon. I apologize.
But it could have, and it could have not been that he couldn't. It's just he didn't choose to put the level of
Yeah,
commitment to
exactly.
get those scores. Not that he couldn't.
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
He
some
didn't want
people
to
just
Derrick Rose it.
exactly. Yeah. Sometimes just and also sometimes getting the right coach in your ear can
Yeah,
unlock
that's
things from a communication standpoint.
right. That's probably honestly the biggest thing, right? Like get somebody you can resonate with. This is your only focus in life. Your family is taken care of. This is all you have to worry about day in and day out. You eat, sleep, and breathe it.
Mhm.
Yeah, things can change for you.
Yeah, Missouri Southern State University.
Missouri Southern. That's what it was. I thought Mississippi
Appreciate it,
Southern.
Don. Don C
Yeah.
continues the generosity, gifting 5 members,
My goodness.
brand new memberships. Make
Santa
sure you
Claus
guys
out
check-
here, dude.
No, dude, he's making it rain.
Christmas in
bruh.
August, bro.
I absolutely love it. But yeah, man, this game is coming quick this Saturday. It's
Yeah.
it's another extremely important game. We got a busy week of shows for you guys today or this week. We got a special show tomorrow. Might end up being a recorded one. I don't know if we're going to go live, so be on the lookout for that to drop. Thursday, we got an exciting guest. Kyle Barber's going to be joining the show.
Yeah.
A guy who has not missed a single training camp practice, has been live for all of them. We've relied upon his notes in a lot of ways to help us with our show. So excited to finally talk to him. We've been trying to coordinate to get him on the show for feels like a couple years now, honestly. So we're excited to get him on. And then, of course, we that will kind of be lumped into our preview show for the upcoming game. And then we'll be live after the game is over on Saturday. Busy week. And we'll hope that Jimmy, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to give Jimmy the day off tomorrow because he needs to rest this.
Dude, my voice is bad, huh?
He needs to rest it and get back to fully healthy come Thursday.
I feel like Kermit, dude.
Dude, you sound rough. You sound different. You sound like Jimmy at like 13.
Yeah, it's a problem.
You know, when I first met you, when you were a young guy, dude.
Yeah.
When your voice was changing.
I just got a lot more wrinkles.
That's right.
That's all.
Right.
I was fresh faced back then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Don C says, did you guys hear about Cleveland's second-round pick, Mike Hall, putting a gun to his baby mother's head while the 11? Yeah, I did.
Was it to her head or was it to her mom's head? Anyway, I didn't understand.
I heard to her. I thought it was to her head saying, I will effing end this right now. The guy is, I got to say, the guy is, he's ended his career, I believe, before it even started. I mean, how foolish do you have to be?
No, I mean, the Browns let him hang. The Haslams don't care.
Well, that's true. They did.
They don't.
How much money for Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, they don't care. As long as if the kid gets off with a slap on the wrist, he'll be back. Second round pick, they don't care.
But the NFL does care about domestic violence.
No, but I mean, if he gets off with once the suspension's over, the Browns are going to hold on to
I
him.
got you. Yeah, I guess so. If he's a good enough player, but jeez.
Oh, book it. The Browns don't care.
It was his fiance's head in front of the baby and her. Jeez.
In front of the baby and the baby mama's mom. Yeah. Right? Is that what it was? Okay.
Exactly. Can't do that. I mean, obviously, that's insane. Like, first of all, I mean, I guess, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, people let their emotions just get, like, I have never, I mean, look, not that this is any accomplishment and something to brag about, but I have never even considered, no matter how, I've been with my wife. I mean, you know, Jimbo, you saw it at the beginning. I've been with her for 20 years, dude. Like, there's never been a moment as angry as I've ever been where I've wanted to even think about putting my hands on, or, I mean, certainly aiming a freaking gun. Like,
that's wild.
Never even, and everybody knows when you're with someone, they can get you frustrated. But never even an inkling in my brain to do some crazy shit like that. Like it's just, I can't even comprehend it. Like I can't even like relate to it.
Yeah.
It's so outside of my reality. Plus, even if I wanted to, I mean, you know, Katie, she probably whipped my ass. I mean, let's just call it what it is, bro. She's in much better shape than me. Like she works out constantly. She would beat the crap
That's the
out
thing,
of me.
dude. If you don't take care of business the first 30 seconds, you're gassed, dude.
Dude, I'm gone, bro.
Gassed.
I'm done so, bro. Unless I have to start training for this 5K, which, oh, wait. Come on, bro. Don't do this.
Oh, wait. We want Glenn to live longer, so don't get 10 sacks. Please.
That's true. That's true. Probably would be beneficial, actually. Yeah.
But no, I was going to say, though, like, dude, just leave them. Like,
Right.
just go away.
Just
Go away.
Yes.
Like, just go on a walk. Like, maybe don't get behind the wheel, but it's better than sticking a gun in someone's face.
Certainly. And look, there's so many service. He's an NFL player. We know about the driver service that every NFL player has access to. At any point, you can have a car arrive to drive you. Like it's built into the CBA. The Players Association provides that, and they never use it.
I should negotiate that for that my next job, right?
Dude, get a driver, get a town car.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
What are we doing here?
You know, and they never and these NFL and it's not just I think it's like other leagues have this too, but I know the NFL does. Like, take advantage of it. You don't even have to Uber. You don't even have to pay.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Well, you already know how cheap I am. I would literally never drive.
Oh, I know. You would just constantly. They'd be like, God, Jimmy's calling again.
Wait. Can I tell you a funny story really quickly?
What's up?
I'll give you guys. This is a good one. So in college, hopefully, it doesn't matter. Whatever. I've been out of school for a minute now.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in school, I was in an entrepreneurship program at the University of Utah, student run, funded by former students who are now multi-million and billionaires. It's an entrepreneurship program. It's like an incubator where you can start businesses, you can get funding, you can get legal help, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do like Shark Tank competitions. People will get money, blah, blah, whatever. So we'd have investors basically, but sponsors show up and we do dinners for them, show them presentations, things that we're working on, stuff like that. Anyway, so we were doing an event. And so part of my job was to make sure the event was set up. And when they would come in, I would make sure they had the parking code on campus. Mm-hmm. Like there's a little code so they can get like validated parking.
Yeah.
They can just type it in the machine. Okay. So that happens. The event's over. I park in that parking lot. It's like $8 an hour. Right.
Oh,
but
okay.
So I would park there and I would put in the code and I get 4 hours and then I go out to my car again and put in the code again. And I get another 4 hours. Right?
Genius.
Yeah. So I'm thinking it just like zeros it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I graduate because I didn't learn this till my last semester. I graduate. My buddy hits me up after the meeting and he's like, dude, they are livid. Somebody spent over $400.
No. And they didn't know it was you. There was no record. Oh, that's beautiful. And what were you like? Who the hell did that?
Dude, I'm going. Yeah, exactly. No, he knew it was me because I told him. But he wasn't gonna rat on me, you know.
Right. Well, yeah, of course.
And dude, he was dying laughing. I'm like, dude,
that's hilarious.
Nothing you can do.
So just think of how much money you saved.
Yeah, so much money and
they
time, dude. Because I got to park
at your own university.
Well, oh yeah, for sure. Because I got parking right up front. Like it was pristine, like excellent parking right there.
Don C called you Jimmy Haskellstein.
Dude, I honestly, if I knew I was actually taking someone's money, like somebody who's in charge, I wouldn't have done it.
Well, who's paying it though?
Well, the entrepreneurship program that I was a part of is paying the school.
Oh, okay.
Even though it was affiliated by the school,
so
like there was an affiliation there, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
well,
my point is,
it was the billionaires and millionaires you were talking about paid for that.
Oh, that exactly. They're paying for it.
There you go.
Yeah. So they're okay. So, but my point is, I'm cheap. I would have absolutely gotten a driver every single day. The drivers would have been taking my kids to school.
You would have had a first name basis on all of them. Like,
yep. They would have been having breakfast at the house. Oh, for sure, dude. Why not? Like, take them to school, pick them up from daycare.
Yeah. Like,
got a doctor's appointment.
Hey, I ordered groceries from Walmart. Go get them. Like, all that, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I don't get it, man. I don't get these guys. And then I know it's probably they have a fancy car in the parking lot. They don't want to leave it. They try and drive.
Cares?
But No. Get that because it's like a Uber Black or something. It's like a SUV will pull up. I mean, come on. You can't beat it. But yeah, busy week from us tonight, this week, guys. So make sure you turn on the notification bell. If you enjoyed your time here, always hit the thumbs up. Help push us out to more Ravens fans. But I think that's it for us tonight, folks.
That's it.
We will be back in the very near future, but we'll talk to you soon. See you.
See ya.